Yeah, what always drives me is to give like people and companies a voice, and I think they can do it themselves when they know how to. And I think in the end, it's not rocket science. You just have to do it, and you have to know the methods and stuff, and it's no secret.
So thanks for having me. I'm Nils, obviously. And I want to talk to you guys about how to PR. And does anybody know what PR is, or anyone not? Yeah, that's right. And what's important for me when it comes to PR is that it's public relations, and it's not only about like getting into the media and stuff. It's about building relationships. The relations in public relations is about building relations with real people, and that's my key approach when it comes to like doing communications. And it's more than just getting media coverage, even if I'm showing you today how you get media coverage. So let's just dive in. I will start in chapter 1 with giving you some background infos on PR essentials, how to hack media, and how proper story looks like. And afterwards, I prepared like a couple of key learnings of being a CEO at a 40 people agency. If you have questions in between, just ask it. I try to answer. So let's just start how to PR, chapter 1, PR essentials. So why PR? To be honest, I talked to like 100 founders, CEOs, head of comms in the last few years. And when I talk to them, they're all like, okay, we want to gain awareness, we want to generate trust, we want to improve our thought leadership, attract investors, maybe generate leads, attract talents, and in the end, build a reputation. When you do all this, you build a reputation. So that's where you normally start. And to be honest, it's very easy to do this for yourselves, because what PR is not, and that's important to me, because you saw it's about maybe generating leads. No, it's not. Maybe it can help generate leads, and from time to time it does. It depends a little bit on the topic, to be honest. But if you're like planning to generate leads, and that's what I told people in the sales calls I did all day long, if you want to generate leads, do performance marketing, not PR, because PR is about like the reputation. So it's not advertising, not paid articles, and it's not performance marketing. So you can start your PR game just by imagining this pyramid, because I call it the PR pyramid, and even you see it looks like a pyramid a little bit. So where you always start with is with the goals. Yeah, what are your goals? What are your business goals? And what are your PR goals? Which like you elaborate from your business goals, and then you start thinking about your target groups, target media, target journalists, in the end story. It's very simplified. It's not always like this, but if you have like a small idea you want to push, you can start with that, just goals, target groups, doing this pyramid, breaking it down to the story, and we will do this together now. So the first important thing is know your target group. And I experienced that a lot of like founders or CEOs, they don't even know their target groups that much, because you have to know when it comes to like, where does your target group inform themselves? You have to know what is like the key media and stuff they are informing themselves with. So know your target group. Typical target groups could be like clients, or really, really simplified clients, investors, employees, politicians, and so on and so on. It depends on your case actually, and but you need to have a clear picture of who your target group is. Do personas and stuff. It helps you with being very accurate on the to reach them. So know your target media, because as I told, there's a lot of media in Germany, and I will say something else about the media in Germany in a few seconds. But if maybe you're a tech company or a tech startup, you think about, okay, which media clusters do you have in Germany? Where is your target? Where are clients? Where are investors and stuff? And then you just try to break it down. It's some examples. Yeah, you have to be on the business media, like the Handelsblatt, one of the biggest like economic outlets in Germany. And you have like general interest media, And from time to time, local media could be interesting as well, because there are a few topics where you need to be on the breakfast table. For example, I had a client who was like building a platform for solar power, and yeah, I mean, in the end, who invests into buys like solar panels? It's house owners. So, and house owners live in houses, and they have kitchens and they have tables where they can put on local newspapers. So you can always do it like this. You have to think about the target media. Where do they inform themselves? And what's interesting as well is like the agencies. I don't know, like press agencies in Germany. And if you get in there in one of these, maybe the DPA, the German press agency, it all spreads to the local media as well. So it's kind of interesting, but we don't have the time to dive deeper into it. So for all these outlets, there are people working for it, and that's the part where I come back to the relationship game. So know your target journalists, because they are your target group as well. So these are proper German journalists. This is Markus Lanz. He has a TV show. This is the journalist from the FAZ, Maximilian Sachse, and Britta Rybicki. She's the AI specialist from the Handelsblatt. And what you should always do, because know your target group, is like having a look, and it's for free. You can find it online. You can find some background infos, and you can find which are the topics he wrote about. And that's very important, because maybe you're a tech startup, or maybe you're a food startup, and he wrote about HelloFresh. You can say, hey, I'm building the new HelloFresh. Would you be interested in listening to what my business idea is? So that's basically how you can do it with everyone, and you don't have to do it like manually. You can just ask Perplexity or ChatGPT or stuff. Now you're ready to go. I thought about saying it like Donald Trump, but I will spare you this. No, you're not. I'm sorry, it's a lot of gifts in it, but I hope it's like a little bit entertaining. So what you have to know is, what does the German media landscape look like? It's complicated, but I will show you guys. It's a lot. We have about 2,000 general interest media, like daily newspapers, over 5,000 special interest media, like trade press outlets, 10 agencies, over 200 TV channels, and 300 radio stations. It's a lot. So the good news, there's a lot to pitch if you would like to, and the bad news is it's constantly changing. New outlets growing, some dying, and it's really noisy out there, because you have all the media and you have 36,000 full-time journalists, 15,000 startups, and 3 million companies. So that's not a good ratio for you, unless you know how to do it. So how do they hear you? Scream. Or even better, like send a random press release to 1,000 journalists. I call it, and that's why I asked ChatGPT to explain, to make a picture about. I call it the spray and pray method, because you spray something out and you're praying that someone will write about it. That's not how it's working. That's what's happening. That's a journalist, and that's the rubbish. That's what happens to marketing emails. And believe me, I talked to a lot of journalists in my professional life, and we did webinars with journalists where they told us how they want to be pitched. So yes, so all PR is about like doing this spray and pray stuff, and getting maybe some articles in random outlets, which does not pay back on your business goals. And new PR is like to have a higher conversion rate, and I will show you how. And to get real journalistic articles that have a value for your business, because it's better to be in the Handelsblatt with a full site of about your company than in the, I don't know, the Berliner Zeitung, for example. So how to hack the media? How do you get there? So you have to know another thing first. It's how does a day of a journalist look like? It's like this. No, they are not dogs. But they get a lot of emails, like they have to deliver 3 to 5 stories by 9 a.m. They have like editorial conferences. They got event invitation, then they get emails with marketing, blah, blah, blah. We have some brand new startup. It's disruptive. It's innovative. So they don't like it. They just delete it. So if you don't want to be deleted, you should think about a good story. But to approach them, you can just do like, I mean, it's people. To reach them, you can text them via LinkedIn, for example, if you don't find their email addresses. And if you have their number, call them and pitch it live, because it's always better to be in contact with people. So, but what you need, start building relationships. Let's do a recap. So what we saw, define your goals and think with the business goals, set the right media and messaging and stuff, research target journalists, pitch smart via phone or LinkedIn. And then in the end, you have a success, but you need another thing, the most important thing, a proper story. So that's a proper story, a Cinderella story, for example. Yeah. I hope you like it. But when it comes to a story, there's some quick free advice. Be as relevant as possible, deliver facts and figures, offer exclusive information, journalists love it, and be bold and give an opinion. And always, and that's very interesting because I think some of you guys mentioned it, have an answer to the most important question: which problem do you solve? Because I saw a lot of founders who didn't have an answer on this question. So, and it's where it gets bad. If you don't know which problem you're solving, so what are you trying to pitch? Help creating the best B-color matcha latte, or having the solution for that? It's not good. Why should anyone care? So, solving the climate crisis maybe, but maybe not today. The world is changing. So here's how to fail, and I try to turn it around, because you will fail when you get the tone wrong. You send an email from like press at, and you add a lot of attachments and say, please consider it for your coverage, and you will fail when you go for quantity, not for quality. You will fail when you make it irrelevant, when you have like a news that is so niche that no one cares about it, and that you think your product is awesome, but no one cares about your product because you don't explain it the right way. And if you use marketing phrases like innovative, new, disrupt, I don't know, you name it, all the adjectives, skip it. Delete it from your text, from your mails. The last thing, more is more. If you pack in every detail you can think of and craft a headline that's a mile long and sprinkle it in quotes from every expert from your company, you will fail. So how can you do it? Okay, that's Dobby, like failing. And the ideal pitches, and I picked out Maximilian Sachse from the FZ, for example. Again, this is very, very simplified, but it works. So, hi, Max, I saw your feature on blah, blah, blah. You may be also interested in blah, blah, blah. We are launching B in Germany. It solves problem C. It will compete with D. It's better than D because we have raised E money from FGH investors. We also have IJK as customers, and so on. And I once pitched like a journalist from the Handelsblatt, Katjana Krapp, she's writing about energy topics. And I was pitching a customer of mine, and she was like, no, I don't write about him. But if you get me the investor, because he was quite famous in the area because he sold his company to Shell, if you get me the investor, I will jump on a call with the founder. And so it happened. And I think last year they were like sold to ImmoScout. And sometimes it's the details. So you have something to offer. You just need to find out what that is. It's always about your story, because it's journalists. It's not about your logo. Okay, maybe don't choose an ugly logo. Maybe sometimes it's about the logo as well, or your name. You want to reach journalists, think like them, think in stories. And these are, for example, proper stories, funding, X, raise Y to conquer German market, always figures, exclusive study reveals XY, news, Nordic market leader takes over, inside trend X will change, blah, blah, blah. This will happen in this. Like, for example, I once pitched a robotics study or a study about fundings in robotics startups to TechCrunch. And this was all about like, how will it develop? Who are the robotic champions worldwide? Who is leading? Is it the US? Is it China? Is it India? Or is it like Europe? And celebrities always work. Once Snoop Dogg invested in a cannabis company, so that went quite well. And I brought some examples, some real examples. So that was a client of mine in the beginning. So it's a very, very boring solution. They tried to revolutionize the finance controlling of real estate projects. And I pitched the journalist the problem, and the problem that they work with Excel. They have a project with like an amount of like a volume of millions, maybe billions of dollars and euros, and they're using Excel. And a lot of, I mean, if you're working with Excel, you know it's not the best solution if you have like really big amounts of money. And that's how I got in there. And another thing, and that's always working good, if you're thinking about what is a topic your company can stand for, just try to build a report, because it always works. In this case, it was Powers. They are like a platform for electricians, which are very, very much needed in Germany because of the energy transition. But the report says they have very, very low salaries. So why is that? And I pitched the headlines. I called them the makers of the energy transition. And the journalist even took the headline. Yes. And another example, again, a report about, and this is like a project management solution. It's a software. And they thought about what is our topic, and that was like the joy for work. So they tried to build a work happiness report. And that's what really, really went well. And the headline was 8 out of 10 Germans are unhappy with their jobs. And so that was in the Spiegel and in like 60 other outlets. Priority A, really, really good reach. And I think it's the last example about an AI survey. Yeah, shocking results. Headlines like this always work quite well. Something else about Germany. It's not about beer. It's not about like silly dresses. It helps in Germany, and I'm sorry, but it helps to have anything German. A German-speaking spokesperson, very important. I had like some calls with. We once had a client. It was a unicorn, so they were worth $billions. A unicorn from, I think, Bulgaria. And we tried to pitch to them without a German spokesperson. We failed. It didn't work because the journalists, they weren't interested. Like in, even if they speak English, they don't always feel comfortable with it. So it's a bonus to have a German office, German clients, and of course, even if just one investor is German, it helps. So German journalists prefer German companies. Yeah. My last advice, and that's when it comes to like having your story straight, knowing your target group, knowing the journalists, knowing the media outlets. So be blunt but charming. That's what I always tell people, because it's a good method. Be blunt but charming. Yeah, be nice to the people, but yeah, you need to be a little bit like aggressive, but not too much aggressive. So that's it, all about the PR game. If you have questions afterwards, just I have like my LinkedIn code. You can just add me and text me. So chapter 2, key takeaways of being a COO. That's cheesy. And I think I thought about what will I tell you today, because I mean, I can tell you what a COO does, but you can read it like on Wikipedia, or you can just Google it, or Perplexity. So my first learning is it's lonely at the top. And that's the thing I really learned the hard way, because I started like as a normal employee, and then I became team lead and director and stuff. And from time to time, I mean, people are your friends on work, and they're not just your colleagues, but your friends. But from time to time, you have to make decisions which they are not happy with. So it gets lonely. But the good thing is that you may have people you can talk to in similar roles. So that's an important learning for me, because it was my first time in like such a managing role. And the second thing is, success is silent. Only problems make it to a desk. And that's what I learned the hard way as well, because I was just dealing with the shit. Because unhappy clients, unhappy teams, everyone unhappy, and you lose like control, and you lose track of the things that are like going very well. Yeah, and the success is silent. So sometimes it helps to focus on the good things. So another thing, focus, solve one problem at a time, not everything. Yeah. I just wait a few seconds. So you're working with people, not processes. Invest time in them, they will pay you back. So invest time in people, try to develop people. And in the end, what happens, you can delegate, and delegate if you have good people around you who you developed in a good way. And that's another thing I learned. And the last thing, imagination. Think big. It sounds very stupid. Very, very stupid. But I think sometimes you need to push yourself to think bigger, because even if you're not the type for it, because otherwise you will fail. You just have to push yourself, even if it's silly sometimes. And you just can't think big, because nobody can prove you wrong but yourself. So that's it. Thank you so much. And if you need more insights or resources, just hit me up. Thank you so much.